Welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show. The television audience is looking at the Vince Lombardi trophy that was on our set here on Monday, and then we spent a lot of time on Sunday shooting that baby around our western town. And when it's all said and done, one team will hoist that in 2 days' time after the rest of the country that's not here enjoys the call of Chris Collinsworth and the man who is here on the Rich Eisen Show, Al Michaels. Good to see you again, sir.
Great to be here at Santa Anita. This is fantastic.
Do you like this? Do you like this with all the horses around here?
I feel like I'm in Wayne Lucas's old barn right now.
Well, you were at the Dan Patrick Saloon earlier.
That was Bob Baffert's barn.
That's right.
This is Lucas's old barn right here.
Yeah, and Michelle Tafoya will be joining us in a matter of moments as she'll be part of the Super Bowl 49 broadcast. 2 days out, Al, have you spoken to the coaches yet? Where are you in your preparation
We spent the whole day Wednesday with the Patriots.
Okay.
Talking to a number of players, obviously to Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Went to practice, and then yesterday we were with the Seahawks for probably 10 hours total.
10 hours?
Well, there were some breaks in between, but
Sure.
we met with a number of the players, and then we went to practice. Then we went back to the hotel early evening last night and spoke with Pete Carroll and with Russell Wilson.
Did you chat with Marshawn at all, or no?
No,
You don't meet with him? Okay.
Marshawn always declines the invitation to be a part of the production meeting. So I guess unless he's on like Conan O'Brien or something.
You saw that, right?
Well, I heard about it.
Well, I mean, it's
Do you think he got paid for it?
I believe, of course, he did.
Yeah. So,
I think he and Gronk probably did. Listen, I don't know. I shouldn't just throw it out there, but you asked a direct question.
Sure.
To get both of them together to play a particular video game.
Correct.
I imagine that was, but more power to Conan. I mean, it's a heck of it was laugh out loud hilarious. But I think if you take a look at Marshawn this week, do you think perhaps he got together with whoever his handlers were, or they sat him down and say, whatever fines you're going to get from the NFL for not talking, we're going to be able to make that back 15, 20 times over with the hats and the pop-up stores and the appearances. Because he's talking a lot and showing a personality that I wish more fans would be able to see.
Yeah, the guys who know him, they love him, his teammates and all that. I would hope he wouldn't be that much of a mercenary, because I just think that he just doesn't feel comfortable in that setting, doesn't want to answer a lot of questions. And look, through the course of sports history, you go back to Dick Allen when he was a tremendous player with the White Sox. He was kind of the same way. A lot of guys didn't want to talk to the press. So be it. But when you get to the point where all of a sudden you don't want to talk to the press, but you are going to take a bunch of money to go do something else, hey, it speaks volumes about you.
So I'm here with Al Michaels, getting set to call his 9th Super Bowl. We had Dick Enberg on earlier this week, who had nothing but the highest praise for you as a broadcaster and who you are.
Right back at him.
And he did 8 of them.
Yeah.
He did 8 of them.
I know.
I mean, where does the Super Bowl rank for you in a career that you have done pretty much everything? NBA championships, hockey, Olympics, and earthquake World Series games. Where does it, sitting in a Super Bowl 49 booth, rank?
It's right up there, and it's so different though, because I did 8 World Series. The World Series is a book that has anywhere between 4 and 7 chapters, and it goes for at least 4 days and maybe a week or a week and a half counting the off days. So that evolves. If you have a bad second game but a great third game, it makes up for it. The Olympics go for 2.5 weeks, so there's always stories that are evolving. The Super Bowl, you're in and out. It's 3.5 hours. And of the 8 I've done, fortunately for me, 4 of them have gone right down to the end. One of them was pretty good. That was Pittsburgh-Seattle after the 2005 season. That had the makings of a game that really could have been great, but it turned out to be a 21-10 win for Pittsburgh. And then 3 of them were blowouts. And that's what we fear. Chris and I and our whole production crew, you just don't want to get to halftime and have the score be 35-10,
right?
Which it was in the first Super Bowl I did, with the Washington Redskins scoring 35 points in the second quarter against Denver back in San Diego in '88.
But you did the Norwood game, true?
Right? I did the Norwood game, no good, wide right. They blame me for that in Buffalo.
They blame you for that?
I know. What am I going to say? No good, wide right. That's it. End of game. End of story.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Well, don't shoot horses either.
No, we can't. That's a different movie. A different movie. I'm here with Al Michaels. So let's give people at home an idea of what this is going to look like on their television sets. Are you using more cameras for this than a normal Sunday night game?
Not necessarily. I mean, in the old days, the writers would always say, you know, what are you going to do? And then every network would go, you know, well, they had 21 last year. Now we have 23, 38. You can have 500 cameras. Our guys, Drew Escoff, our director, and Fred Godelli, of course, they know how to cover everything. So we've got every angle covered. You don't want to overdo it. I mean, you don't want to let technology run the game for you. We've got all these great things. I mean, to me, over the past several years, HDTV, unbelievable. The camera that hovers above the field, gets you into the huddle, gives you those different angles, phenomenal. We know where to go, but you don't want to say, hey, look, I've got 18 million toys, and I have to use every one of them. No, you don't.
Well,
just use what's appropriate to that moment.
The thing that I love about your broadcast is that we never miss a penalty. And by that I mean there'll be some form of and these illegal contacts always happen on 3rd and forever, right?
Yep,
and there's somewhat ticky-tack on the opposite side of the field where the play is. Yeah. And you're sitting at home saying, was that really a penalty or not? And usually, boom, right away, we're seeing exactly what was called. And you were on top of the eligible, ineligible stuff.
That was our men and women in the trucks. I mean, we've got a lot of people. But we knew, I mean, all of a sudden, we see John Harbaugh go out on the field. He takes a penalty in a situation where it's a costly penalty at that point. That's a lot of yardage you don't want to give up. But we knew that something major had caused John to do that. And
he was full Vesuvius. He was,
you know, within 30 seconds, we've got everybody, you know, looking at what's going on here. And then you sort of catch Bill Vinovich, who was the referee that night and will be in the Super Bowl, indicating that Vereen, normally a receiver, is ineligible. But I mean, it's one of those situations you don't see, but it took our folks only maybe 45 seconds to figure it out. I was amazed myself to see that they were able to get it that fast. And then, of course, you know, Chris took over at that point and explained what the situation is. You have to have 7 guys on the line. He's the inside guy. It was television at its best, I think.
And you guys are great at it, and that includes the 3rd member of your broadcast team, Michelle Tafoya, who is here, who will join us in a moment.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.